you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
No, this game's not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday, and we got a lot to talk about after this past week in the NFL. And then there were none. No more undefeated teams. Both San Francisco and Philly went down this weekend. So who's going to be number one in the KWWJ KYOK lunch break power rankings? That's right. I still have affiliation with both those stations. I'm still their sports director. Yes, I did retire from doing live shows in radio, but I still support them very much and do articles for KYOK and do the power rankings. So again, who's going to be number one tomorrow? Who will be number one tomorrow? I got news for you. It won't be San Francisco. It won't be Philly. Who will it be? All right, Talk Your Team Tuesday. Who wants to talk that stuff? Cleveland Browns fans, I know y'all want to talk some stuff because y'all took down the Titan. Y'all, not the Titans, y'all the Titan. The San Francisco 49ers looked unbeatable. But that's why they play the games. And they did it with a backup quarterback. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then again, Philly, man, I tell you, that's one I thought they were going to pull out. I give him credit when he plays well. I got to get on him when he doesn't. Jalen Hurts wasn't on his best game this past weekend, and Philly ended up going down. So, Cowboy fans, where y'all at, man? Y'all just want to be mad. Y'all just want to be mad. You beat the Chargers on the road. Dak does not throw an interception, and y'all still mad. So, Cowboy fans, I don't know if I want to hear anything from y'all today because, man, y'all just going to be mad. Y'all just going to be mad. Y'all are one game closer to the Philadelphia Eagles than you were before Monday night. So, I mean, come on now. Come on. I got y'all still going to the playoffs. Hey, Kimberly Negrete, how you doing? Glad you're spending your lunch break with us here on the show. So, let's get to it. Let's get to it before I take my first break. Thursday night, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs knocked off the Denver Broncos 19-8. And for the fan base that think that Sean Payton is working some kind of master plan so that he can get Caleb Williams with the number one pick in the upcoming draft, please. Hey, man, I give him no credit. He is exactly the same guy that we talk about when we say Bill Belichick can't win without Tom Brady. Well, apparently Sean Payton can't win without Drew Brees. And I stand by what I said when I said he seems to have a problem with black quarterbacks. I'm not saying he's a racist. I said he has a problem. And whether you agree with it or not, fine. That's your analysis. It's not mine. The fact that he would not let Jameis Winston be Jameis Winston in New Orleans and ended up bringing in other guys, that said something. That said something. And right now, Jameis Winston looking like a better option than Derek Carr in New Orleans, but I digress. And then the way that he is berating publicly in the media and on the sidelines, Russell Wilson is embarrassing. So either he has a problem with him or he just has a problem, but there is a problem to be had, and Sean Payton is the common denominator in both of them. And then let me just say this. Let me say this real quick to the Seattle Seahawks fans. For all of y'all who want to jump in on the pile and say Russell Wilson ain't this and Russell Wilson ain't that, let me just tell you something. Without Russell Wilson, your little franchise doesn't even have a Super Bowl victory. And oh yeah, by the way, you would have had two if your head coach and your offense coordinator would have handed the ball to beast mode. So you can jump on the pile now, but your little sorry franchise would not even be relevant without Russell Wilson. Oh yeah, by the way, how did it work out? How did it work out for y'all this weekend? Oh yeah, I'm coming out flamethrowing today. So anyway, that was Thursday night. Then let's get to the Sunday games. Let's go right to the top. The Cleveland Browns take down the San Francisco 49ers 19-17 at home at the dog pound. And oh, was it rocking, because that defense got after one Brock Aloysius Purdy to the point where his final numbers were 12 for 27, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Nobody in the NFL has defended Brock Aloysius Purdy like that since he has been a starter. But the Browns found a way to get it done. And they put up just enough points behind P.J. Walker, who threw 2 interceptions, but outplayed Brock Purdy. 19 for 24, make that 18 for 24, 192 yards, and the win. So there is no more San Francisco 49er dynasty this season. They down, lost 1 game, and I've moved them out of the top spot. I'll give you that real quick. All right, let's take a break. I'll come back. I'll talk to you about the other undefeated team that went down right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and the Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
lunch of the keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday, and I got to tell you, man, no more undefeated teams in the NFL. San Francisco went down. And before I move on from San Francisco, for those who say, oh, it wasn't that much of a beatdown. Yeah, let me tell you, it was domination by the Cleveland Brown defense. Cleveland had 334 total yards. San Francisco, 215. 215. Yeah. Cleveland's defense dog walked the 49ers offense. So yeah, let's just call it what it is. If it were the other way around, y'all be, 49ers. Well, Cleveland. Yeah, they got that job done. All right, the other game that was a surprise was the Philadelphia Eagles losing to, of all people, man, I tell you what, I was surprised by this one right here because I really thought that Jalen Hurts and squad were going to pull that one out, but they did not get it done. They lost to the New York City Jets that play in New Jersey by the final score of 20-14. And like I said, I get with him when he's good, but I cannot rock with him when he throws not one, not two, but 3 interceptions. Now, I'm going to take a page out of Troy Aikman's book, because Troy Aikman likes to say that interceptions by guys that he likes are not always their fault. 2 of those interceptions were definitely not his fault. These were balls that were either batted up in the air after hitting the hands of the receiver, or one that it's like the receiver caught it, then he dropped it, and then as he was dropping it, he hit it with his knee, it bounced up in the air, and the defensive player picked it off. So 1 out of the 3 was on him. 2 out of the 3 were not. And I'll stand by that. You can call me whatever you want to call me, Homer or whatever. But again, those 2 interceptions were not on Jalen Hurts. They count, but they weren't on him. But he didn't, he wasn't the Jalen Hurts that we thought he was. In fact, going down to try to win the game, another INT. 28 for 45, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 INTs. He ran for 47 yards and a touchdown, but at the end of the day, they lost. Again, Zach Wilson, nothing to write home about. 19 for 33, 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but the Jets are 3-3. So I can kind of get why Robert Saleh is not trying to make any big moves right now at quarterback. If they were 1-5, I could see that. But they're 3-3. And they're right in the thick of things in their division. So, hey, what can we say? Jets got it done. Eagles did not. Again, no more undefeated teams. Let's get to the rest of the games. The Ravens knocked off the Tennessee Titans overseas, and that was 24-16. Lamar Jackson got the job done, threw for 223 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And he also ran for 62 yards, but more importantly, got the win. The Ravens are 4-2 and on top of the AFC North, which is where I predicted they would be. Don't look now, but Cincinnati's starting to heat up a little bit. It wasn't pretty, but their defense stepped up and knocked off the Seattle Seahawks. The people that hate Russell Wilson. Well, you got your behind beat by a team that, was on the down tick, and they got a hold of y'all 17-13 and got the win. Seattle is 3-2, Cincinnati 3-3. Texans got them some Saints this past weekend, and CJ Stroud threw his first interception, but at the end of the day, they held on for the win, 20-13. And I need to understand what's going on with Derek Carr. Derek Carr threw for 353 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, and his team didn't win. What's happening? I say it again. I am not a fan of the New Orleans head coach, Dennis Allen, and I'm definitely not a fan of their offensive coordinator. I really don't think those dudes are the answer to the Saints' problem. So listen, Mickey Loomis, rest of y'all in the front office, help the Saints out, please. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And yeah, they got a Super Bowl chip, but we expected consistency from there and have gotten nothing. We've gotten anything but consistency from there. So that was from a Saints fan, not a broadcast journalist. Again, New Orleans loses to the Texans 20-13 against C.J. Stroud, just getting the job done in Houston. And I got to give head coach D'Amico Ryan some credit. Got that defense ready to play. Them boys were balling. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars did what I thought they were going to do. They got a nice win over the Colts, 37-20. They are on top of the AFC South. Also, I've told you the Jets beat the Eagles. Washington got back in the win column, 24-16. Now in Atlanta, they are talking about putting Desmond Ridder on the bench. Desmond Ridder threw 3 interceptions, also threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. But those 3 INTs, just kind of messed up some things for him. What I don't like is the backup quarterback that they're talking about giving Desmond Ridder starting job to. You got to stick with your young guy. All right, so Kim Negrete said, all right, now, not too much on the Saints. I just got to call it like I said. My granddaddy used to take me to the games, and the folks were wearing bags over their heads. So, yeah, I got to call it like I said. Mickey Loomis owes us better than this. Dennis Allen ain't it. Time to put him in the front office or somewhere else. What's up, Desiree Battles? What's going on, girl? Good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in to the lunch break on your lunch break. All right, so again, the Commanders 24-16. The Vikings got back in the win column. They beat the Bears 19-13. Where I talked about the Browns and the 49ers. How about the Miami Dolphins? The Miami Dolphins are making a strong case to be in that number 1 spot in the KWWJ, KYOK lunch break power rankings. They beat the Panthers 42-21. The Raiders are keeping the misery going for the New England Patriots. Josh McDaniels got one in on his former employer or mentor, whatever you want to call him, 21-17. What is New England going to do? Is it time for a coaching change? Because this is definitely time for a quarterback change. And I'm with it, man. The rumors out there that Mike Vrabel would be the replacement for Bill Belichick in New England. I'm with it, man. I'm here for all the stuff right there. Detroit also has a claim for the top spot. They're 5-1 after beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And oh yeah, Keith Hennig, is it finally the downswing of Baker Mayfield? It looks like it. Baker Mayfield, 19 for 37, 206, no touchdowns, 1 INT. And oh yeah, by the way, he looked like trash on Sunday. The Bills is still hot. They beat the Giants, bouncing back from their loss to Jacksonville in England, 14-9. And then, of course, last night it was the Cowboys beating the Chargers 20-17. Let's look at Dak Prescott's stat line. 21 for 30. That's good. 272. That's good. 1 touchdown. No interceptions. Oh, yeah, and he ran for 40 yards and a touchdown. What's wrong, Cowboy fans? Tell me what's wrong now. Cowboy fans, tell me what's wrong now. Why are we upset with Dak now? I'm just asking. Spider Call, what's going on? Go Lions, man. Let me tell you something. Them Lions got a solid argument to be the top team in the NFL right now in my power rankings. I mean it. I'm going to release them tomorrow, and I'm telling you, you're going to see the Lions somewhere near the top, if not on top. I ain't dropping no hints. I'm just saying. Let me take a break. We'll be right back. I'll wrap things up right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of these folks right here, BS3 TV.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. there's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap-B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap-B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday, and got to jump over to the NCAA. Let's see. Let's go to the scores from this past week. I got to say this, man. Georgia, they don't play worth diddly squat against teams that they're supposed to blow out. But boy, when they get up against a team that they are supposed to be, have some trouble with, man, they go off. So yeah, I'm gonna leave Georgia at number 1, but I'm gonna also say this: if I'm the Ohio State University or the team up north, y'all know who I'm talking about, the number 2 team in the country right now. I want either Georgia or Alabama. I will take either Georgia, Alabama, Florida State. Doc, I'm telling you, there is nobody that should scare anybody in the Big Ten. If I'm the Ohio State, if I'm the team up north, if I'm Penn State, come on. Give me Georgia, give me Bama, give me Florida State, because I'm telling you right now, all 3 of them are looking like straight frauds to me. All right, let me see what Allmad's got to say. Allmad said, getting the red zone, can't score. That's almost everybody, bro. That's almost everybody. And let me tell you something. Y'all ain't listening to me. Say this before I get off this TV show. Your offensive coordinator is a dude that got fired in the land of cheese for sucking as an offensive coordinator. I'm just telling you, man, it's not Dak. I'm a computer. I got a degree in computer science. Junk in gives you junk out. And the fact that they thought that they could put Mike McCarthy as the offensive coordinator of that team, and y'all thought this was going to be, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, that ain't him. That ain't him. What's up, Ben Sutter III? Ben Sutter III says the Cowboys are working my nerves. Man, y'all just want to be upset. They won. They won, man. Listen, Ray Lewis, when his team would win, he said, get on the bus. If it was an ugly win, get on the bus. Get on the bus, man. Get on the bus. Get out of LA. Go back to the house and figure it out from there. Figure it out from there. So anyway, let me get back to this. Ohio State blasted Purdue 41-7. Tennessee over A&M. Boy, Texas A&M. How y'all liking Jimbo Fisher now? I bet y'all wish y'all had y'all money back now. All right, LSU over Auburn. What about Notre Dame? USC. Huh. I thought y'all was all that and the chips. Y'all talked all that noise against prime time. You ain't talked that noise against Notre Dame. You got dog walk 48-20. Yeah, get their butts out of the top 10. Florida State over Syracuse. The team up north over Indiana. And look at this. Alabama barely got by Arkansas. 24-21. Georgia barely got by Vanderbilt. 37-20. I love it. And then Penn State, well, they played UMass 63-0. Did what they're supposed to do. I know Oregon didn't lose. What? Oregon didn't. Dan Lanning, I know he didn't lose. Was you playing for clicks or were you playing for wins? Because you sure got beat by Washington. You mean that boy ran all that noise, did all that talking, and ain't even gonna win the Pac-12? Huh? I told y'all Oregon was going to Oregon. I told y'all USC was going to USC. Those are not the teams that they used to be. I don't care who you run in there at coach. I don't care what they did. Let me tell you something. Dan Lanning has just as many national championship rings as a head coach as head coach Deion Sanders. I digress. Okay, let me go back to Allman. Allman said Dak gets happy feet. Allman said after last night, I need some press on. Y'all got the win, man. Get on the bus. Get on the bus, man. Let's go. All right. Speaking of going, let me get ready to go. Before I do, I got to talk about the Astros. Oh, my God. I hate to say this, man. But if the Astros get through this series, some kind of way they come back from this 0-2 deficit that they put themselves in last night because Framber Valdez gave up 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 runs in the first inning. Gave up 5 runs total for the game. That's the loss. You lost right there. They ended up losing 5-4. Imagine if he does not give up those 4 runs to start the game. Hey, if they get past this series some kind of way and they get in the World Series, you got to take Framber Valdez out of the rotation. You got to take him out. You got to take him out. Put him in the bullpen, bring him in for long-term relief or whatever, but you got to take him out of the rotation. And I don't know who you put in. To me, you go with the 3-man rotation of Justin Verlander, who lost game 1, Christian Javier, who they're depending on tomorrow night, and Jose Urquidy. Seriously, you might have to go with a 3-man rotation. But they got to take Framber out of at least the number 2 spot in the rotation. Drop him down to number 4 if you need him. But, man, I got to tell you, the Astros have put themselves in a hole that they might not be able to climb back out of. 0-2. Only 3 teams have started 0-2 and came back and won the series. Astros are trying to be the 4th. We'll see. It starts with a win in Game 3 tomorrow night in Arlington. Philadelphia got by Arizona. And, yeah. All right. NBA is preseason. That's practice basketball, so we're not going to make a big deal about that. We'll get on it next week when the regular season starts. All right. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There is nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow for Winning Wednesday when we announce this week's winner of the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Somebody's going to win $50 tomorrow. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? All right, y'all. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Y'all take it easy and be blessed.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break with the Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. Number 1, a faction of Republicans strongly opposes Jim Jordan and vow he'll have a challenger during the House floor speakership vote Tuesday. While they've not yet nailed down a specific name, they believe the person they ultimately land on will not only be able to block Jordan from the speakership, but also give cover to those who want to vote against him. Jordan was the second speaker nominee this past week after his supporters first helped block Representative Steve Scalise of Louisiana by making it clear they would not give him the 217 votes needed. Number 2, Monday marked National Heroes Day in Jamaica, where honors of service and distinction are bestowed upon island citizens. National Heroes Day is also a day of remembrance for heroes long gone whose sacrifice and service contributed to the rich cultural history of Jamaica. The celebration of this day began in 1969 in honor of great visionaries Sir Alexander Bustamante, Jamaica's first prime minister, Marcus Garvey, the Pan-African civil rights liberator, Baptist Paul Bogle and Samuel Sharp, businessman George William Gordon, Norman Washington Manley, the famous scholar and lawyer, and notably Queen Nanny of the Maroons, an Ashanti woman who fought for and freed over 1,000 enslaved Africans. Number 3, The U.S. is doing poorly on maternal mortality, with a rate that has steadily risen in the past 2 decades and resulted in the worst maternal death rate in the industrialized world. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 700 U.S. women die every year from pregnancy-related complications, with nearly 60% of maternal deaths preventable and most happening within 42 days of women giving birth. Earlier this year, members of Congress formed the first Black Maternal Health Caucus, and last year lawmakers passed the Preventing Maternal Deaths Act, which directs more federal resources to collecting data on maternal death. Number 4. In November of 2022, 6 Fulton County deputies were indicted relating to an inmate death that were thrown out. However, that ruling was recently reversed by the Supreme Court of Georgia, and those indictments could return. Fulton County Jail is under investigation by the Department of Justice for its use of force, mental health care, and other issues. The jail has had 10 deaths in this year alone. Number 5. Inheriting money is a profound life event that can stir up a whirlwind of emotions. An inheritance can affect lives positively when used wisely. Remember to honor the legacy, consider long-term implications, and seek expert guidance to secure your financial future. To navigate these waters wisely, our celebrity CPA, Katrina M. Kraft, gives us 10 questions to ask ourselves when dealing with inheritances. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Free your mind from the judgment of others. It doesn't matter what they say. All right. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College, an HBCU in Concord, North Carolina, needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join the thousands of donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SibylWilkes.com for more information. And check out a celebration of Black filmmakers rooted in the HBCU culture. That's November 10th through the 12th at Howard University's Blackburn Center. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.